No Scotland, no party. No Scotland, no party. Well, you may have heard that song over the last, week or so, which is the Tartan Army from Scotland. That's the fan base for the Scottish national soccer team that's in the United States right now playing in the FIFA World Cup, 2026 FIFA World Cup. They're just one of the fan bases. There's 48 teams that have descended on North America, mostly playing in the United States, but they're also playing a few games in Canada and a few games in Mexico. Primarily the games are in the United States. And it's kind of great that it's on right now because, July 4th, this coming July 4th, will virtually be right in the middle of the FIFA World Cup. That play goes on for about a month. And so July 4th will sort of be right in the middle of the games themselves. And one thing that people have learned from coming to the United States, again, fan bases from 48 different countries that have come here, and probably a lot of people that even their own teams aren't here have probably come to watch the World Cup itself. But one thing they found out, and part of it is that the Tartan Army from Scotland, that's just one of the fan bases that's here, but the fun they're having. Matter of fact, in the Scottish team's first game was played in Boston, and the Tartan Army literally drank Boston dry, and that's kind of interesting. In other words, especially to the point where Boston's kind of an Irish town, and I think the Irish are gonna have to sort of get out there and live up to their reputation, because I think apparently the Scots drank 3 times the beer that the Irish typically do on St. Patrick's Day, which is typically the biggest celebration for the Irish in Boston. And so again, Irish, you better try to get out there and reclaim your title. The Scottish team, as we speak, by the way, is now playing against Brazil right now in Miami. Matter of fact, they had the Tartan Army on Miami Beach with the bagpipes and all the rest. So, but what the whole thing is showing is that all these people are coming to the United States that have been propagandized for the last 20 years that the United States is a horrible place and we should all hate each other, and you're going to probably get mugged and killed if you're in the United States, and shot for sure because we have guns in the United States, the Second Amendment. Well, and I think what people are finding is that is a lot of baloney. In other words, what we've been propagandized to believe, and part of you stop and think about what's going on with I say propaganda, the media, which is owned by whoever advertises for them, the big corporations that benefit when we are being told by them what we should do and what we should believe, governments who like when they don't have to answer to their individual voters and their populations, all like the fact that if we're against each other, they have more control. And I think that's one thing we've got to remember, and especially on this 250th birthday of the United States. And if you stop and think about what that's about, 250 years ago, the United States, the people of the United States, declared independence from the United Kingdom, and basically independence from tyranny, which, by the way, we're going through right now, because everywhere around the world, you're getting governments that are really trying to dictate to you. They like the idea of not having a population base that fights back. And by the way, COVID-19 was a good example of that. We all fell in lockstep to whatever we were propagandized to believe in. And, it turns out in hindsight, we didn't do the right thing. We followed what was right for the tyranny people, the people that were trying to tell us what to do, but it really wasn't what was right for people. And I think what's showing in the FIFA World Cup is that, by the way, when you get rid of all that propaganda and you put that aside, you all of a sudden find that the people of the world, and this is basics of humanity, we get along with each other. We like each other. We're not here to fight with each other. That's not really our basis, especially since we've been educated and we know what we're talking about. We don't need to be propagandized to hate each other. And I think that's what people from around the world are finding. They're here in the United States. People are friendly. Everybody's getting along. They're having a great time. And matter of fact, one of the things that was kind of interesting, one of the memes that I was watching is there was somebody peeking out from behind a curtain, looking out at the crowds of the FIFA World Cup, and basically the comment behind was the 20 years of propaganda being dismantled in 20 minutes of fun at the FIFA World Cup, where people are realizing that we really don't hate each other. And by the way, that's the other thing. The United States was set up again because they were freeing themselves from the tyranny of the British Empire. We're basically back in that position again, where the globalists are really trying to do the same as what they did back then. As a matter of fact, if you think back 250 years, the global power was the British Empire. And so now, all of a sudden, with globalism, World Economic Forum, those types of things, that's what they're shooting for. They would like to have global control. And that doesn't work well for individuals. So I think the idea of everybody coming together for the World Cup, seeing that the United States and the freedoms that they propose and the freedoms that they stand for are something that the rest of the world, and matter of fact, you see it around the world, they want what we're having in the United States. One of the last things, okay, so this is the 250th year of the Independence Day for the United States. I was born on the 175th year of the United States birthday. And so I've been on the planet for 75 years. The other thing that was kind of interesting from my perspective, one of the things one of the theme songs that's being played at a lot of the parties that are going on with the FIFA World Cup, the fan bases are going to baseball games and rodeos, and one of the songs that seems to be coming up is John Denver's Country Roads and Take Me Home, West Virginia. So my other claim to fame, if there's any such thing, is I was actually born in West Virginia. And when I hear that song being played, and let's face it, it's played quite often, at parties and bars and things like that, and I join in and sing it, of course. And I look around the crowd and I think probably I'm the only one that actually in this crowd is really from West Virginia, but I really can't take much credit for that. I lived there for all of 2 years before I then moved around to various parts of the United States and eventually into Canada. And so anyway, just wanted to say happy birthday, United States. Stay with the freedom thing. That is so important for us and for the rest of the world. And I think the rest of the world is now realizing the United States really has something to offer for the whole world. And basically what that is that desire for freedom. And let's not lose it around the rest of the world. Now, I'm now in Canada and I look at the situation we're in here. Be careful, Canada, because the road we're taking right now is globalist. And I don't like that at all. I'm a freedom person right from the beginning. And the way this country's going, and we're being propagandized by our government here in Canada right now to let's go matter of fact, our Prime Minister, he's supposed to be the Canadian Prime Minister, was in Europe just a few weeks ago. And his first comments when he got there was, it's so nice to be home. What? You're the Prime Minister of Canada. How can you say it's nice to be home when you go to Europe as the Canadian Prime Minister? Completely nuts. Well, I guess if you're a globalist, that's where you're thinking, the global economy and the global governorship should be from. I'm not in favor of that. I don't think the United States is in favor of that. As a matter of fact, I think most individuals are pretty much not in favor of a globalist situation. Matter of fact, an interesting thing. We've got a World Cup going on. There's 48 teams playing in it. Can you imagine if we had one government? Who would we cheer for? Let's go world. It makes no sense. I like the idea of countries. We don't have to beat each other's throat. As a matter of fact, you can see, like I know Brazil and Scotland are playing right now. Huge fan bases. And obviously on the field, they're not going to be, they're doing whatever they can to win. The fans at the end of it, and before, by the way, are partying like crazy, and they will continue. There's no animosity. The game is a game. When it's over, the results are whatever they are. And by the way, that's a great thing for the world and for the individuals of the world. Happy birthday, United States. 250 years. Fantastic. Stay with freedom. Let's export that freedom around the world. I think the people that have come to this country to see the freedom that you have are going to take it home with them. Thanks for watching. Happy birthday, United States.
Take me home, country road.